Welcome to Mountain Sledder Garage. Today we're going to be talking about sled weights. Every year for the last 7 or 8 years I've weighed my sleds wet, ready to ride, just kind of to see where they're at and see how they compare to other snowmobiles out there. I've always weighed just stock sleds. I've never weighed a turbo sled, and since we have our new turbo sled from Skidoo this year, I've always kind of wondered how much it weighs. So today we're going to weigh this is our stock 19 Alpha, completely stock, even have the stock can on it, complete ready to ride. It's got a wrap on it. That's the only thing that's going to weigh a little bit more. Over here we have our completely stock, straight from the showroom, factory Skidoo 165. It's full of gas, it's full of oil, has its spare belt, and it has its tools that would come with it. And here we have a 2020 Expert, and this is also a 165, but it's also set up with our silver turbo kit. So I want to see what a silver turbo setup 850 weighs compared to the factory turbo. Just seeing how much difference there is between the aftermarket setup turbo and the factory turbo. Otherwise, those sleds are essentially the same. They're the same 165 track, same suspension essentially. Different hood a little bit on the 2021 sled than the 2020 Expert. So let's go and weigh our Alpha, just see where it's at. The straps on this, I've weighed all the straps. The straps on this weigh about 3 pounds. And so we're going to lift this guy up and kind of see where he ends up at. So if we look up there on the scale, we can see we're real close to 550 pounds, 549. So that is a completely stock 2019 Alpha. 165, spare belt, oil completely full, gas completely full, just like it would come if you had just bought it off the showroom floor. Okay, now we have our 2020 Skidoo Expert. This has this full silver turbo on it. Full of gas, full of oil, 165 3-inch track. Just show you, just filled up the oil here almost to the top. You should be able to see the gas kind of sploshed down in there. So everything's full on this sled. The one thing it doesn't have is a spare belt. Not that that's going to make much difference, but just to make all these equal, I usually wear with a spare belt. I'll throw a spare belt on it, and we're coming out right at about 555, 557, somewhere in there. Complete 2020 165 Expert with the silver turbo kit on it. Not the intercooled kit, the standard kit, which is a really respectable weight, full of gas and oil. Now the other sled we want to weigh, just since we are comparing turbos, this is my 2020 Chaos. It is a 155, 2 1/4 or 2.6-inch track. Got a silver turbo on it. Like the other sleds, you know, it's pretty much ready to ride. As you can see down the gas tank, we're pretty much full of gas. I just filled that up. Oil tank's full about right there. We got our spare belt in there. Do have this Polaris skis replaced with my ATAC skis. They weigh about a little over a pound more a piece than the stock ski, but still just more of a comparison just to see what another brand turbo sled weighs. This has a full silver turbo on it. This is the non-intercooled kit. It has the quiet muffler as well, the little bit bigger one. Belt drive sled. So we would expect this to weigh less than any of the other sleds that we weighed. Let's just see what this does. All right, so we're full gas and oil. Remember, 155, we're about 528 pounds, 527 pounds. So about a full 30 to 35 pounds less than the Skidoo Turbo. And it does hold about 1.5 gallons more gas than the Skidoo Turbo. So just as a way of comparison, Skidoo's got an incredible motor in that Skidoo Turbo. Polaris has always had the lightest chassis. And depending on what Polaris does next year, they definitely have their work cut out for them in the motor department and the power department, trying to do anything that's close to or better than the Ski-Doo factory turbo. Polaris already has them by a long shot in weight. If Polaris can even come close to what Ski-Doo's done in their technology with their factory turbo, it's going to be us consumers. We're just going to keep benefiting better and better as more and more technology comes down the pike from all these manufacturers. To have a light sled like this, to have a powerful sled like the Ski-Doo factory turbo, is just incredible what we can buy these days from the factory. Okay, next sled, the one we've kind of been waiting for, the 2021 Ski-Doo factory turbo 165 3-inch track. Now, as you can see, got the spare belt on this. Oil's completely full. Gas is filled up completely to as high as it will go. Got our 165 3-inch track. I mean, such an amazing sled that we can buy a factory turbo. Full stock exhaust. Remember, any of these sleds like the Alpha, we pull the can off and put a stock or an aftermarket can on, we're going to lose 10 to 15 pounds depending on the sled. So we're going to go ahead, put this guy up on the stand and get it weighed. So we get the camera up here. You can see we're right around 563, 564. Incredibly respectable for a factory turbo, I'd say. With the factory power of 165 horsepower at 10,000 feet, what an incredible mountain machine. I mean, who knew we'd be building and purchasing mountain machines like this even 10 years ago, to have a 560-pound machine with 165 horsepower at 10,000 feet. If you have one of these, you want to know what other kind of performance things you can do to it, stay tuned for future episodes coming up in the next few weeks. We got all the Bikeman Go Fast parts for this. We got the single pipe. We got the torque link stages 1, 2, 3, and 4. We also got the charge tube, the muffler. We're going to be adding these things and comparing it to a stock 850 turbo, just kind of see what kind of gains you can get with each stage, with each performance mod. So keep up to date and follow us on our YouTube posts. Click the subscribe, the red button down here in the corner, and so you can be notified whenever we drop a new video. Thank you for tuning in for Mountain Sledder Garage. I'm excited to get to see on the snow this season. Ski-Doo's really set a high bar for Polaris and Arctic Cat, because we know they both those brands have factory turbos coming. It's going to be hard to make a machine that's better than this, but the bar is set high. I have great hopes for what we're going to be able to buy in the future from all three brands. The mountain machines are just going so incredibly fast in technology, and what you can buy from the factory is just amazing. So thanks for tuning in, and join us next time on Mountain Sledder Garage.